Calxiyn here. Before we get started, let me say thank you to all of my Patreons. Academy, Professor, Edwin, new recruit Solly, and Rooter. Yeah, that's it. If you guys don't know why I'm laughing at that, it's because someone unpatroned me today, and I'm not salty about it, don't worry. It's just, it's weird not, only going back to saying 3 names, and kinda sad. Anyway, this is kind of a new introduction to a new series that Hunter and I have kind of been planning to do, but Al's here instead. If you guys didn't see, then, yesterday when the shipping video went up, it was Al and not Hunter, just for today, and, yeah, there you go.
First, be disappointed again.
You guys may have seen Al in the last shipping video, but if you haven't, here he is. And basically this, as you can tell from the title, is called How They Handled. So we're basically gonna kinda, you guys know our feelings on some of the things from other videos, but this is kind of a condensed version about how we feel about some, aspects of the show, in a nice, orderly, relevant fashion, kinda.
As orderly as it gets around here.
Pretty much, yeah. So anyway, today we are talking about Qrow Semblance. And Al really likes Qrow. So, in the last volume, we found out that Qrow Semblance is actually, bad luck. He inflicts bad luck on people around him, whether they're friend or foe. This helps him out in fights and stuff, like that. So it's,
But it also has its own set of disadvantages.
yeah, so...
Especially when it comes to people he doesn't intend to get hurt by.
Like
his...
Summer, rip. Anyway, so...
That's just a theory.
Yeah.
A RWBY theory.
So first, let's go over, like, the basics. So, does his semblance suit him?
I'd say so, yeah.
Okay, why?
Well, the thing is, like, Qrow sort of, he's kind of like, for the first, like, volume 3, he was very, in fact, for most of the shows, like, we've heard of him a lot, and he seems sort of solitary comparatively, because he's always out on his own, going solo on missions. You know, in volume 3, he talks about how he usually goes out by himself, does stuff for Ozpin, and it's like a neat thematic reason for why he prefers to go it alone.
Yeah.
Because that way he doesn't get anybody else hurt in the process.
I think sort of lore-wise it suits him too, because he is based on a Qrow, and Qrow's like...
it's like sign of ill fortune, or just bad
yeah,
stuff
I mean,
happening.
they don't believe that in, like, Native American culture and stuff like that, which is kind of where I thought that Raven and Qrow drew origin, from, because, like, as we talked about kind of in that video, it's a tribe, and ravens are very important in, like, indigenous people's cultures over here and in other places, because we talked about how, in a different video, how Raven was a skinwalker, and that obviously had stuff to do, with Native American lore, but because Qrows aren't bad luck, I don't know if they're entirely going that route, or if maybe the bad luck developed later in life somehow. But that's kind of a theory for tomorrow. Like, I have a bunch of theories about, like, how his semblance kind of, came to be. One of them's I'll show you guys tomorrow. That's gonna be our tomorrow theory video.
Let me go find a quote.
About what?
Just because when he was talking about it,
About what? His semblance or the tribe?
yeah, his semblance. Because you were saying about when it might have appeared, and I just want to take a look at the transcript from when he was talking.
Oh, sure. Okay, well then I'll talk a little bit. I think that it was very interesting to see how it was presented, too. Getting off of if we like it. I think that presentation-wise, it's happened for a while. Like, if you go back, someone has collected all of the instances where they think that Qrow Semblance might have came in play. Like, there is the fight against Winter. Obviously, Ironwood is coming up behind them.
The guy in the bar dropping his glasses.
Yeah, there's also the fact that he got top shelf in Volume 4. Obviously, Volume 4, they knew they were going to establish it, so they kind of put things like that. There's also the fact that Ironwood left his phone.
That's not bad luck, that's good luck.
Yeah, I know, but remember, it gives good luck to him, but bad luck to everyone else.
Does it give good luck to him?
Yeah, that's what he said. He said it aids him in,
it comes in real handy when he's fighting an enemy.
But the thing that he says is that, the girl at the bar says, but I gave you top. Lucky you, right? Like, it was supposed to be a nod to the fact. I think that it also, like, you could think about it this way. He was inflicting bad luck on Raven because the girl didn't listen to her. Because she said to give him bottom, remember? And so I guess it inflicted bad luck on Raven, or how Raven was perceived by Bar Girl. So I don't mean good luck as in, you know, it's a yin and yang situation. But you know what I mean, right? Like, it inflicted bad luck in a way that it gave him something good. And that's one of the things that it did. It gave him top shelf, I think. That was kind of the implication, especially with the lucky you. Like, that was a bit obvious looking back on it not to be intentional. And the other thing was
definitely intentional. I just don't know if that's a sign of good luck.
Why? He got top shelf. That's expensive, isn't it?
I mean, like,
it was more bad luck for Raven.
Yeah, I don't know if that was necessarily Semblance related.
I guess not. She could have just thought he was cute, but I thought it was Semblance related, just how they phrased it.
I totally see why. I'm just not convinced that it. If anything, I'm not convinced that it was his Semblance act. We don't know what Raven's is. Is her Semblance the creating weird portals?
I mean, we don't know yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got no idea what his Semblance might actually, how it works. Sorry, I'm just checking the wiki. Yeah, it doesn't say anything. Yeah, honestly, like, I don't know how much significance to import on that scene.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was. And then there's the scene with Ironwood leaving his phone on the table that Cinder hacked into. Like, a lot of people think that was Qrow's bad luck, because Qrow was around Ironwood at the time. Yeah. A lot of people think Qrow caused that. And that's why Beacon kind of fell, sort of. Well, not why Beacon fell, but part of the... It was a pretty good... They would have never had his phone otherwise, right? That's the issue.
Oh yeah, he would have kept his phone and none of that would have happened.
Yeah.
That's actually an interesting one.
I think that's all of them I can think of. Also, Yang always losing to him in video games.
I mean,
that was another...
That might just be him being better at it than her.
But that was another thing that people thought, because it was weak against it, like... You know, fighting, he has a fighting benefit. And so that's kind of, it works both ways, I guess. A lot of people consider that. Also, I'm losing in Grim Eclipse. Anyway, I don't know if you're still looking for your quote.
No, I've looked through, there's nothing to suggest anything.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately. I was hoping there'd be a thing about, like, him saying how long he's had it, but there is not. He just said it's always there, whether he likes it or not.
We know that people find out their semblance at different rates, but we don't know if it comes with birth or if it's a product of environment. Like, we don't know.
Yeah.
That's not something that's been established enough yet. And
yeah, unfortunately, the mechanics for semblances aren't revealed.
A lot of people have the theory that semblances can be changed or mutated and things like that, I think. And so we'll just have to see, because it could have been possible that maybe Qrow didn't have this before and someone cast a spell on him. Like, that's kind of our theory tomorrow, is that Salem did something to Qrow, but we'll talk about that more in the actual theory. But you know what I mean? Like, we don't know for sure.
That one I don't know whether, I mean, it's a subject for tomorrow.
Yeah, that is more of a subject for tomorrow, but I'm saying that
I have thoughts on that.
How a semblance comes about is still unknown, but I think it's interesting to kind of see it. But how about things that you would have done differently? Like, if you were writing for it, like, would you keep that semblance, or would you change it to something else? Like, what would you do instead?
Well, for Qrow?
Yeah.
I don't know, because, I mean, the semblance itself gives us the badass theme music. So that's the reason I have not to change it. Well, I'll tell you what. I always assumed that turning into a Qrow was his semblance. If you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Does he actually definitely have that power? Because there was the shot of him of the crow flying down.
Yeah, he
the
does,
hero.
I think.
Okay, so
That's been established that, yeah.
okay, that's definitely established that's an ability he has. But like, where does that come from? I'd love to know that.
A lot of people think that the bad luck is a side effect of turning into a crow, like a side effect like Yang's eye changing. Because her eyes change red, but that's on her semblance, right? And Neo's eyes also change, but that's just a kind of a characteristic, a physical characteristic to the semblance. Personally, though, what I think is that they're separate, like that the bad luck came first, and then maybe when the crow thing happened, I don't know, they, like, or I guess I'm not explaining that right, but from birth, they're both called Qrow and Raven, right? So they had to know, right? I feel like, so the tribe probably knew that, right?
I mean,
so,
I assume they had some knowledge.
And a lot of people, according to RWBY anyway, a lot of people don't share the same semblance. Like, I don't remember where that was said explicitly, but I remember that it's, other than, the Shnee's hereditary, like, that is something that is special. That has been established already. And so for another family to have a similar semblance would mean it's hereditary and they just haven't covered it yet. Or it's not the semblance, right? Like, it's something different.
Yeah.
It's more of a magic, and I feel like we're gonna get more information on that.
I think that'll definitely come later.
Yeah. What I would have done differently, though, was have... I don't want too much backstory, and, like, I don't want it to be very explicit, but it would have been nice to have a scene with Raven and Qrow discussing a little bit. Like, just... not a lot, but for Qrow to kind of be like, to say, you know, you think that you have it bad, Raven, like, I can't do da-da-da-da-da because of my, you know, I would have wanted him to be a bit more salty about it because maybe in his mind it's kind of Raven's fault because, like, she's still part of the tribe and stuff like maybe he blames the tribe for his semblance situation and then he would have more of a feud with Raven. I think that would be interesting, but that's just me.
I don't know if he's that sort of person, though.
I mean, but he obviously doesn't like her for other things that she's done, right?
Like,
so
no, he takes issue with things of her actions, which are definitely her fault.
But it could be her action because we don't know how he got it yet.
Oh no, we don't.
So it could be his fault.
It could, yes. It technically could be that, but but I don't think that I don't think that's where it would have come from.
Yeah, I mean, this videos like these are a bit of theorizing and a bit of like actual stuff from the show. I feel just
definitely.
but again, like I said earlier, with like all the indigenous references, like in that they can turn into animals and stuff like that. This is a very like again the skinwalker thing. I think though, like in my head, how I would do it is that because Qrow betrayed the tribe, the good luck he had disappeared and it was instead replaced with bad luck. You know what I mean? Like, because he left, not that they cursed him or anything, but like that it changed.
I mean, that would present a whole other set of interesting possibilities.
Yeah.
That sort of,
and so that's kind of what I would do differently. Is I would start a feud with Raven based on that as well, because we know that he doesn't like her, also because she stayed with the tribe, but maybe it's that the tribe kind of made him, like, unintentionally, but that's just how the semblance worked. It was a side effect that when he decided to leave, they didn't kind of he kept his power, but they didn't give it to him the same way. It's kind of like you got what you wanted, but now it's coming back on you, like almost like karma. I don't know how to explain that better, but I would really like something like that in the future. I think that would be interesting. So I would kind of set that up in Volume 4.
Okay.
And we don't know if that, like, maybe it'll happen, but it didn't happen in Volume 4, though. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I would have done in that moment. Even if it happens in the future, whether it does or not, like, this is just kind of, like, spitballing, and again, this is what I would do differently, you know? And so rather, like, when we do theories, we're like, oh, you know, this has a X chance of happening. This is more like, yeah, if I did it, that would be nice. Even if they do it later, they didn't do it now, so... yeah. And
totally see what you're saying.
yeah. I don't know, there's a lot of potential with it, but at the same time, I feel like it's kind of cliche. Like, some people, I don't think anybody expected it, but some people definitely guessed. Like, there was a Reddit forum a couple days before the I wouldn't say a couple days, but a while before the episode actually aired, and Miles and Carrie must have been, like, freaking out, because someone solved, like, they were kind of the first person to kind of solve all of it or whatever, and so,
I mean, that's a credit
to them, obviously.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
And somebody put it all together right.
I think that's, I mean, you're right. It's just at the same time, I feel like it was kind of predictable. Now looking back on it, I guess, you know, in hindsight, right? But I feel like...
Then you can go back and go, oh shit, that's what happened then.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like that with... I know this is, like, not a coherent sentence, but with it, it just... After that guy pointed it out, it was almost like it was almost destined to happen sort of thing. And also, you know, because crows are stereotypically a symbol of bad luck, even though I don't even know where that came from. I think it has something to do with witches or something that's bullshit.
Yeah, it sounds like witches or some, like, old English folk tale.
Yeah, and so because of all that, like, I don't know, it's not as original as I would have liked them to go with it, but we'll see what they do, you know?
I don't know, honestly, I can't think.
It's interesting to see a semblance, though, that affects the environment. Sorry.
I think, like, there's that, but to be honest, I can't think of many cases in fiction where they've outright stated...
I'm just
like,
unlucky.
they've outright given somebody the power of bad luck.
That's
like,
true.
In a world where all sorts of fantastic things happen, where you can turn into rose petals and speed around, or you can power up by getting the shit kicked out of you, you just inflict really shit luck on everyone.
There's another thing, too, is that Qrow said some people have the power to burst into rose petals whenever they want, and so people think that the rose petals is RWBY's semblance, and the speed is a side effect, which would mean that Qrow turning ability is his semblance, and the side effect is, you know what I mean? Like, because he described it in that way, a lot of people think that is why, that's why it's like that. That was good job, Cal. That was coherent. But you know what I'm saying, right? That is kind of the explanation for why Qrow can turn into a crow, that it's not a separate magic thing, but because he described the rose petal thing that way, a lot of people have come to that conclusion, which I think is also kind of interesting.
Semblances can have multiple effects from them.
Yeah.
Cool. I like that. It means they've got room to add a lot of variety to things.
Because if you think about it, turning into a crow may just be a physical side effect, like Yang changing her eye color, or it could be the other way around, right? Like, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
But as far as we know, you're born with one semblance. But yeah, I guess we'll see.
Next is, well, the interesting part.
Yeah. And so, I don't know. I feel like they did good with it. They did good with it, and there's some stuff I'd like to see, but I feel like what I'm looking for, which is a bit more backstory on it and things like that, will come later. And even though it may not come in the nice, like, feudy way that I said earlier, like, it'll still happen, and so we shouldn't worry about it too much.
History.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more, obviously.
And so, like, to answer the question of how they handled it, I think the answer is good. I think they did well.
I think they did a pretty good job. Like, I'm not particularly surprised that it was handled well, because
they're pretty good at stuff like that.
Well, also, Monty was working on Qrow's character for a very long time.
That's because Qrow's a self-insert. That's what his wife said, I think, that Monty, that Qrow was a self-insert character. Or his OC from when he was, like, a kid.
Yeah.
Or something like that he had Qrow in his back pocket for a long time.
Yeah.
And so...
Pretty cool thing to carry in your back pocket, honestly.
I mean, that kind of makes sense, though. Like, think of an angsty teenager, and you got kind of a cool dude that has bad luck and all that. Like, you know, an angsty teenager, that's totally the, oh, I have bad luck and the world sucks, but I can turn into a bird. Like, okay, maybe not the bird part, but, like, the other... But you know what I mean, right? It's like that, it's just like the definition of teenage angst put into Qrow. Like, everything you want to be. You want to be sarcastic, but you also want to have a backstory where, like, you have this kind of tragic past. You know, it's everything an OC could possibly be.
While doing it.
Exactly, yeah. So I think
Like,
that's kind of funny.
I know, like, with that sort of thing, it's like impressive, like how much of a person
Qrow
they made
is?
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you think, if you.
It's
if you
kind of
take
a
from
weird
that
thing to say, but yeah, if you take him out of, like, the RWBY world, he doesn't seem that crazy of a character, except for the bird thing.
Apart
But
from turning into a bird, it seems like somebody like who's genuinely, yeah, you know, I can believe that guy exists.
even though, like, RWBY, not so much, because she's very naive and everything, and most teenagers aren't like that by her age,
No,
but
these
Qrow
days,
fits
he's
very
supposed to be
well.
A little bit more savvy.
Yeah. But, you know, I think they handled his semblance very well, and just Qrow very well in general, but we may talk about them more in separate things. Because I would like to do, like, how they handled Pyrrha, because she's dead. So when Qrow dies, we can do how they handled Qrow throughout the series. Anyways, I think we're pretty much good. And so,
I hope we never have to make that video.
well, we can even do it before that. We can do it on, like, a arc kind of base. Because Yang kind of already has had her arcs. I don't want to say it's ending, but after she kills Adam, that's the end of her arc. And who knows how soon that's gonna happen. But I mean...
Actually, you know what? Here's a question.
Yeah?
This is something that's been bugging me, actually. Do they actually kill all the people they kick the shit out of?
What do you mean? Roman's dead.
No. Like, in Volume 1, they
Yeah.
beat up a lot of goons, like, in the first episode, Juniors had sent a bunch of guys, RWBY, like, wrecked the hell out of them.
You mean
Are
Yang?
they dead?
Yang
No,
in the
no.
yellow trailer?
No, RWBY in the first episode
Oh,
of
right.
RWBY.
They may be injured. They passed out. They're okay. Don't worry about it.
I'm just wondering how lethal the girls
Oh,
are,
wait.
that's
No,
all.
the goons never came back. She did kill them. Junior said to Yang that Roman hires some guys and they never came back. So I'm guessing RWBY did kill them.
Jeez. Okay, so I just want to point out, in that case, that means these.
RWBY has a body count.
In fact, they
But that's
all
why
do,
Crow's
because-
believable, because I believe he could kill someone. RWBY, not so much.
Oh no.
In real life, I
Crow
mean.
will definitely kill a man. He
Yeah,
would definitely kill a man.
yeah. Oh my god, that's
Not-
too funny.
Not necessarily on Lauren, not like out of like because he wants to kill people for fun.
I feel like this is so unrelated, but at the same time
no,
it
no.
is.
No, but it's just something that sprung to mind.
Oh my
Because
god.
I've just been thinking about it because like, do they kill these people?
Anyway, I think we can wrap it up now.
We can wrap it
Oh
up
my
now
god.
with the cheery thoughts of the girls are killers.
Anyway, guys, I think that's pretty much the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. Oh, migrating host. That's great. Anyway, so thanks again to Academy Professor Edwin and, patrons Rooter and Solly Bear for, doing your thing, and that's all I got. I don't remember what I was gonna say. For sponsoring me on Patreon. You guys should totally join the Discord chat that we have, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I have to say, I think. And so we can wrap this up pretty quick. Anyway, I will see you guys later. Bye-bye!
Bye!